Hi, I'm Gordon Petrie, Design Director at VL Tech Pro. VL Tech Pro are a company that does lighting design, home automation, home control and home cinema. At VL Tech Pro, we actually turn your vision into reality. Clients approach us regularly saying that they've got a new house design from the architect and they're not really sure what to do with the lighting and are a little bit apprehensive on how they're going to start the lighting process. That's where we come in, and we have the ability to look at the whole property. We then find out, discuss with the client how they're going to use the property, how where the kitchen table is going to be, where the seating arrangement is going to be, where the TV screens or cinemas are going to be, so that we can then start to produce a cohesive lighting design that's going to actually be usable and will actually enhance the house rather than be a problem. What we do is we put lighting in the right place. So we'll put the correct lighting in the kitchen, correct lighting in the living room, and also make sure that it's a warm, cozy environment right throughout the house, and also so that task lighting in the kitchen is usable. Also in dining areas, you've got more intimate experience for entertainment, and you've got multi-levels of lighting by putting in layers of light and lighting control. Lighting is important because obviously you want to create the right atmosphere, the correct scene, you want the right light in the right place, you want the right colour of light in the right place. You want to have a house that looks fantastic so that at night it becomes a completely different lightscape, whereas during the day it looks like one thing and then at night it looks like another. One of the biggest mistakes that self-builders make when they're actually building a home is that they don't consider lighting from the word go. Lighting should be considered early on, so that it's not a last minute thing, whereas somebody comes along and usually the electrician, and just puts in hundreds of downlighters all over the house. That's not the correct way to do lighting design. The best way is to consider it whilst the house is being designed, so that the lighting can be in the right place, the right type of lighting, and given the right aesthetic. Most lighting design at architect stage tends to be to satisfy building controls, so there will be a light in the centre of each room. Now, it's a mistake to continue to do that, because obviously different rooms are used for different functions. For example, living rooms, obviously you want to create a nice atmosphere. Kitchens, you actually need task lighting, so you can actually create the light in the right place. Bedrooms, you want to be able to control the light to give you different levels of light, so that you can have a reading mode, sleep mode, and just general cleaning mode. It's important to put lighting control into the house, because obviously you want to see different scenes throughout the house. For example, if you have a dining area, you want to create a dining scene. If you're going to be watching television at night, you want to be able to set a scene for that. If you're going to be reading in a chair, you want to set a scene for that. And you want to be able to control the lighting to actually be able to use the correct light for the correct function. And also, if you've got the correct colour of light, the correct colour gives you the right atmosphere. For example, in a living room, you want it to be warm and cosy. You don't want your living room to be cold. You do not want your living room to be like a retail store or a shop. You want it to actually look like a warm, cosy living room, so that you can be comfortable and relaxed. Open plan areas in the house are different, and sometimes create an area of concern where people are not sure how they're going to operate the multiple areas. The best thing to do is create lighting zones, so that you have got a dining zone, you have an eating zone, you have a television watching zone, you have an entertainment zone. So how you achieve that is just by having multiple layers of light, and then a lighting control system that you can actually set the scenes for each of the functions. A lot of people feel that LED lighting that they've seen in the stores is a little bit blue, a little bit too harsh, a little bit too crisp. For domestic scenes, for example, for the living room, you'd want a warm colour, so you would actually not use the cold LEDs that are available. There are also different qualities of LED, and they also represent colours differently. For example, if you want to see a natural skin colour, you need a really good quality LED. You need full colour spectrum lighting so that you can actually see the skin as it would be naturally. And with a warm tone, everybody looks a little bit better. And if you're, for example, in the bathroom, you might decide that you want a cooler white light there. But ultimately, throughout the house, you can pick your LED colour. There's not just one LED colour. Generally, if it's a crisp blue colour that you see in the stores, it's because it's a cheap LED and it's not a particularly good quality and won't give you the colour appearance that you want and won't give you the colour rendering, which is the ability to see different colours accurately. With colour for light bulbs in the home, you've got a guide on the actual lamp. It tells you what colour the lamp is. So the warm colours start down, say 2,700 degrees, which is written on the pack, and then you go up to 5,000 degrees. So 2,700 degrees is quite a warm colour, quite a natural colour for skin tones and warmth. Then you go to the 4,000 degrees or 4,500 degrees, which is a cooler colour, beginning to turn a little bit blue. And then you get the higher colour, the higher temperature colours, which is 6,000 degrees, which is actually beginning to turn a little bit blue. The warm colours are better for domestic use, and then the cool colours are better for retail use. But it depends on which area of the house or which area of the building. One of the important things about particularly LED lighting is the fact that LED lighting and other lighting, but LED particularly, has got the ability to show colours in different ways. So the colour appearance of something is the warmth or the coolness of the white, but the colour rendering is the ability to see colours, natural colours of clothes, food, etc. So on the LED lamp, you'll find that there's a rating. It'll be either be CRI or RA. So the higher the number, so say it was 100, that would give you 100% as natural daylight. So it's ability to see colours perfectly. Or a lower number like 50, 55, which is a lot of the less expensive LEDs are down at 50, which means you're not actually going to see a true representation of the colours. Particularly bad in a living room or in a dining area where you've got colours that you really want to be represented correctly. So it's best to make sure that you're going closer to the 100. Home automation is where you take total control of the home. You control the lighting, the thermostats, the door entry, cameras if you've got security cameras present, blinds if you've got blinds. Also, it has the ability to control home cinema systems or just televisions themselves. Basically, with home automation, you can control anything throughout the house. One of the important things about any control system is that it should be easy to use. It should be completely user-friendly. One of the problems that we do have is that you've got 500 remote controls around the house controlling TVs and other things. The best idea is to have one controller, one control system, so that you can do something at the touch of a button. The best idea is to have a home automation system that you press a button saying home cinema and the projector comes on, the screen comes down, the blinds close and the presentation starts. With home automation, you can also have walk into a room, press the button and it closes the blinds, brings the light level to the light level that you like. So that can all be pre-programmed into the system so that you don't have to worry about which buttons to press. It's just one button. Home automation is very important. So it's very important to actually have the house pre-wired so that you are able to install a home automation system. Many people consider a wireless system and they think, okay, we don't need to wire the house properly, so we can just have a wireless system. Well, this isn't actually the best system. The wireless is a retrofit system for a house that's already wired. With a house being built from scratch, it is much better to install a proper cable infrastructure so that you can actually have a hardwired system and everything is actually able to be built into the house properly. With a wireless system, it's nice to have for a house that's already built, and then you can actually convert certain areas into a more controllable space. But it is always better to put in a proper cable infrastructure. One of the key questions people ask is, how can I save money and save energy? Now, energy costs are particularly high, so therefore it's important to light the correct part of the room. Rather than lighting a whole room where there's only one occupant, it's better to light the area where the occupant is. It's important that we use the right amount of light in the right areas. You do want reasonably bright light in the kitchen. You don't want to have particularly dim light in the kitchen when you're preparing food. If you're in a living room and you've got one particular seat that you always sit in, light that area. Or if you've got one area where you use for different things, then light that specific area. It's important that you can have the control of the system so that you can actually therefore use the correct amount of light in the right place. We're always asked about home cinema equipment and home cinemas. Now, sometimes it's important to work out what it is exactly you need. Do you want a dedicated room, which is a complete home cinema unit? Or do you want to just have a media wall in the living room with good audio and a good screen? It's important to weigh up the cost. You've got to look at the cost. If it's a dedicated cinema room, it's going to be more expensive than just a media wall in the living room. But a media wall is possibly what you want. A dedicated home cinema is an area that you will need to have in the house so you can actually use as a home cinema. But with a media wall, you can have that in the living room or the dining room or the kitchen, whereby you just have good sound and a good screen or a good projector. Home cinemas vary in price. You can have a simple system, which you just have a simple projector and maybe a small amplifier and a screen, or just a painted wall. Or you can go and have home cinema seating. You can have acoustic matting in the cinema to create the correct sound. We can create a bespoke cinema for your home. As cinemas are becoming more and more popular with people staying at home for their entertainment rather than going out. So we can create a cinema that replicates the cinema, your local cinema, with very high tech, good sound, good picture. Or we can produce a home cinema that's less expensive and a little bit more affordable. It just depends what kind of cinema you want in your home, whether it be a converted garage or a room that you don't use, or the living room itself. Just you can be able to transform that into a cinema. We recently won a Smart Building Award, which was for the best whole home integration project in a house that we did in Cork in Ireland. The house actually is fully automated. We have home cinema, we have door entry, we have gate entry, the lighting system is fully controllable, the whole home audio is controllable, and throughout the home. It's all controlled by touch of a button and very simple to use, but we had one or two obstacles to overcome whilst we were designing this project. One was, of course, that it's a steel structure, which means basically every room is a Faraday cage, so it had to be a fully wired system, and where we have used wireless, we've put in wireless access points in a network so that the whole house is easily controlled, either using a wireless system or using a wired system. Our initial meeting is free and it allows us to discuss requirements, needs, and also do a brainstorming session to work out the design properly.